All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are breaking down Buccaneers rookie edge defender Yaya Diaby, easily my favorite name in the NFL. And I tell you what, this guy's impressing on the football field as well. We've got a great set of cut-ups for you today. As always, if you appreciate this content, leave us a like, leave us a comment with any feedback you may have, or if there's another player you want us to break down, let us know as well. But let's jump right into the film. All right, so our first play here shows Diaby against the New Orleans Saints. There he is, of course, right there as the edge player. Is the left guy on your screen as well. So basically the Saints here are obviously going to run some kind of trick play. You can see Taysom Hill right there behind center. Derek Carr, their normal starting quarterbacks, of course, line up in a running back position. They're going to run kind of a reverse here. There's going to be a Shaheed. The receiver is going to come into your screen. He's going to run a reverse action that way. And the Saints are going to pull the backside guard. They're going to bring the tight end around as well to try and lock up and secure the edge. This puts a lot of pressure on Diaby. He has a chance here to make a big-time play for the Bucs defense. Let's check out how he does. So right there, you can see the trickery, you can see the pullers, and then Diaby gets north and south and makes a play for a huge loss. That's Alvin Kamara right there on the reverse. I tell you what, this is a play the Saints call up, trying to see if they can confuse and get this rookie out of position, and he makes the play. Phenomenal job. Again, I don't know exactly what the Buccaneers' assignments are in this situation. Should he have not gotten reached by this pulling guard? Should he have worked a fly over the top? It's hard to say. Maybe he should have. I almost kind of think he probably should have not gotten pinned inside. But in this situation, be an athlete, make the play, and he does. Right now, we know this Bucs defense. They're bend and don't break. They give up yards, but they hold teams to field goals. They make plays in the red zone, and this is one of them. This is a drive ender, essentially, right? This is basically as good as a sack. 7-8 yard loss basically forces the Saints to end up kicking a field goal. This is how you win games. This is why you're 3-1. You have great young athletes like Diaby here making plays. Just put them on the field. Good things tend to happen. And this is just a great example of that.
Yeah, Nick. And this guy is athleticism at its core. Spark score 116.9, the number one edge defender in the 2023 class, the number 6 player overall as far as athleticism goes in the 2023 class. This guy is a 4.5 40, absolutely blazing quick. That's why he can make quick work of a guy like Alvin Kamara, but this guy is just the pinnacle of athleticism, especially at the edge position, and you'd have to agree it shows on this play, wouldn't you, Nick?
It's just everything, right? He goes lateral, bounces out, gets north and south, and then makes the play. There's not a lot of edge defenders that can do this, right? This is to be this long, this strong to work laterally, both directions, get up the field, and then also make the tackle. The Buccaneers for the last couple of years, they have obviously very good at linebacker with 54 and 45. These two have been awesome for a very long time. But one of the things I think they've been missing is other playmakers on defense, especially in the front seven. They got some good pass rushers, but I'm talking about great athletes in space. And I think Diaby is quickly becoming one of those guys, and this play is a great example of it. All right, so the second cut up here is going to be part of a 3-play sequence for Diaby, and this is talking about his impact as a pass rusher. And this is a great example of how a pass rusher can affect quarterbacks and how it creates big opportunities for the Bucs defense. So you can see Diaby right there. He's the right defensive end. He's going to be one-on-one in this pass rush situation. Let's see what happens on this first play. It's nothing spectacular, but it sets up a sequence of events that works out great for Diaby and the Bucs defense. So again, gets the snap, doesn't beat the left tackle, Trevor Penning for the New Orleans Saints, but right there at the very end, I want you to notice, look at what he does. Extends, gets a hand on Derek Carr's arm and his shoulder. Derek Carr feels that presence. That's one of the mental games smart edge players play, right? They sit there, even though they don't get the play, even though they get blocked up, they don't make the sack or the pressure, they still let the quarterback know he's there. And that's exactly what you want from an edge defender. And that bleeds directly into our second play. And we're going to go from the end zone view here. And right here, you can, again, this is the next play, the very next play. So right here, Diaby, right edge defender. He's one-on-one with Trevor Penning for the New Orleans Saints again. On the previous play, he used a speed rush. Check this one out. Look at this, get off. Oh my goodness, demolishes him. Forced Derek Carr out of the pocket. Let's rewind that a few more times. Ladies and gentlemen, that is big boy football. Trevor Penning is known for being a strong guy. This isn't a smallish tackle who's known for being a finesse player. His whole game is being big, strong, tough, all those things. And Diaby just absolutely annihilates him. This is great stuff and forces Derek Carr out of the pocket immediately. Eventually has to throw the ball away, setting up third down. Again, so let's go back to this first play, right? Derek Carr gets rid of the football, but he feels Diaby at the end. Here, he definitely knows Diaby's coming, has to immediately retreat and ends up throwing the football away. Gets the Saints in a third down situation. Now let's go into our third play. Again, third straight play in the row, third straight red zone. Here we go, same situation. There's Diaby, one-on-one with Trevor Penning. Right here, he doesn't beat him. Penning wins the rep. But this is what happens. Look at Derek Carr. Look how Derek Carr moves. He steps up, moves away from him when he doesn't need to because of the pressure he felt on the previous 2 plays. This is why getting pressure on the quarterback can screw up offenses, even on plays when you don't get it. This is the impact that Diaby can have. Derek Carr, right there, right down the hash. He's in a perfect position. Pocket looks great. For whatever reason, Derek Carr works up the pocket and to the right a little bit, right into the stunt the Bucs are running, gets pressure on him, ends up being an incomplete pass. Buccaneers are forced to settle for a field. Saints are forced to settle for a field goal attempt. Folks, this is what happens when you get, especially situational pass rushers, because he's obviously not the starter yet in his career. But when you get this kind of performance over the previous couple plays, it gets in Derek Carr's and other quarterbacks' heads. They have to react to it, and it creates mistakes for the offense and big wins for the defense.
Yeah, Nick. And first of all, you talk about the size difference and a guy like Penning and Diaby. He's got 4 inches, 75 pounds on Diaby. But Diaby, as you've seen, he's blasting this guy like no one's business. This Diaby, he shows incredible strength, grit, mental toughness. And it has to go back to something he has similar in common with us. His time at the Georgia Military College, the JUCO for 2 years, really, helped him get that strong strength, mental toughness. Doesn't matter if you're 4 inches and 75 pounds bigger than Diaby, he's going to blow you off the ball because he just knows he's the better player. But I think it goes back to Nick. This guy is just incredible. The mental gymnastics he's doing, getting in quarterbacks' heads. This guy is going to be the starter on this team in the next year or so, even maybe this year, because he looks very good already, wouldn't you say?
One of the things about pass rushers is that I think he's going to develop into a really great player, and I think he will start certainly eventually. But the beautiful thing is that he doesn't have to, right? Because this is, again, just 3 straight plays in a red zone, big sequence in the game. Because of the impact one player has, the entire Saints offense with all their great skill players just got completely negated. So he doesn't even need to start to tilt games in the Buccaneers' favor, and we've seen it so far this season. All right, switching up to a running play here. Let's see how Diaby handles in run defense. And again, the New Orleans Saints, they're going to be running a zone scheme here. So we're going to get zone blocks by everybody from the Saints offensive line working up. And basically, everybody's running this way from the offensive line. Tight ends trying to cut off the end man on the line of scrimmage for the Buccaneers. Here is Diaby right there. You can see how far away he is. This is kind of just a setup by the Saints offense to get Diaby, the unblocked man, essentially. They're going to try and block him with Olave, but that obviously isn't set up for a lot of success. Basically, they're trying to widen out Diaby as far as possible. So that way Alvin Kamara can slow play the zone and get north and south when the cutback play opens. But again, watch Diaby on this play. So right there, you can see the zone action. Look how far away Diaby is right there, right? That's designed. This is just set up in terms of formation to line him up so far outside of anywhere else. And you can see he's not even in the screen. You can see the cutback for Kamara develop right there. This is exactly how the Saints drew it up. This is going to be a huge play until Diaby comes in the picture and makes a tackle. Right here, Saints are thinking, this may be a touchdown. They've got bodies on the safety. They've got receivers blocking downfield. Everybody else is blocked up. They got everything cut off. This is a Saints touchdown. This is a game-changing play. Again, let me go back to the very beginning here. They line up the tight end, the wide receiver, in a bunch set like this to force Diaby this far outside to create that natural space for that cutback. And it looks like it's working, right? Right here. Look, Alvin Kamara touchdown. But look at number 0. He's coming into the play, makes a tackle, 3-yard gain. You guys probably didn't see it a lot when the game happened. I guarantee you, though, plays like this, instead of being a 50, 60, maybe even 70, 80-yard touchdown run for Alvin Kamara, it's a 3-yard run. Think about the difference in the game because of a play like this. And this is just straight hustle, drive, and natural athletic ability from the young edge defender.
Yeah, Nick, and earlier we talked about just the things that Diaby would do to get in Derek Carr's head. You have to imagine this is getting in Kamara's head as well, where Kamara sees a hole the size of a truck to drive through. He's thinking himself probably, I can score a touchdown on this easily. This is exactly what I'm one of the best running backs in the league. I'm speedy, I'm elusive, I'm shifty. But then all of a sudden, this guy crashes down out of nowhere and takes him out. He's got to start second guessing those holes. He's like, well, this is wide open. Wait, is it wide open? This is what a guy like Diaby does when you say this guy can really get in everyone's head because he feels like he's everywhere all at once.
It certainly has a demoralizing impact. And I'll tell you this as a guy who played college football, anytime you go through any game plan week, there are certain plays you call to set up situations where you know if you block it up front okay and the defense lines up how you expect it to be, it's going to be a home run. And I guarantee you this was one of those situations. They overloaded the offense's left, the defense's right. They were on the hash that they wanted to be on. Everything was set up. Blocking is pretty good. This is a game plan situation where the Saints expect this play to be called to be a huge game-changing play, and to have Diaby limit it to 3-4 yard run, that's demoralizing. That's demoralizing for the running back. That's demoralizing for the guys up front. That's demoralizing for the offensive coordinator, right? This play is called right now. Everyone is thinking perfect touchdown. Instead, it's 2nd and 7. Game-changing play from Diaby. All right, switching games on you here. Here's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, of course, playing the Philadelphia Eagles, and you can see Diaby. He is on the defense's left, right there on the left side of our screen. We saw a run play on the previous play where he was the backside guy. This was one of those plays that, again, a lot of people didn't really notice here, but the Eagles are running a wide zone. This is a really, really hard play for people to stop on defenses, and it puts a lot of pressure on edge defenders because you cannot get reached. You have got to set the edge of the defense and force the running back who's working this track to cut back inside. That's where your help is. Let's check out Diaby right here. He does a great job. So right there, you can see the wide zone path. You can see the track right there. And right at this moment, it looks bad. It looks like he could potentially get reached. He does get a good chuck on the tight end. Look what he does. He immediately sprints. And right there, this is so important. You can see the fact that he's parallel to the line of scrimmage. This is how you set an edge. This forces the cutback. The cavalry arrives. It's a 3 or 4 yard gain. Folks, this is how you do it, right? You don't love the tight end outflanking you, but he still sets the edge, still winds himself out. Again, right here, this is really important. It doesn't look like much, but right here, he's engaged with Lane Johnson, a really darn good right tackle. He's probably going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. In this situation, he's in a bad spot. A lot of edge players get beat in this situation. There's going to be a big run for the Eagles. They're going to hit the outside, but he keeps sprinting, and I love this right here. He squares his shoulders up. This immediately sets the edge, forces the running back to cut back inside, and it ends up being a limited yardage play. I know the Buccaneers lost this game, and I know the Eagles ran for a lot of yards, but I tell you what, this is a great rep from Diaby right here.
Yeah, Nick, and you talk about the prowess of a guy like Lane Johnson. Let's talk about who else is on him. Dallas Goedert. A lot of people don't know this. #1 graded run blocking tight end in the NFL this season. He has an 85.1 run blocking grade. That's 2 extremely good run blockers blocking this guy, a rookie, who's able to get through the block, keep the edge, and affect this play. That has to be incredibly difficult to do, and very impressive that this young player is able to beat these 2 veterans who've been in the Philly system their entire careers and look to be very, very good. I think this is just an incredible play by Diaby, wouldn't you say, Nick?
It's first of all, it's an incredible feat of athleticism. Just right here, if you look at this situation, just to get width and then turn your shoulders so quickly. I mean, again, it doesn't look like much, but for people at home, that is an incredible athletic feat, especially while you're being blocked by a 250-pound tight end and by a 300+ pound future Hall of Fame tackle. That's really hard to do. And he just maintains his assignment. That's the one thing from young edge defenders. Can you keep track of your responsibilities? We saw it on the cutback play against the Saints. He had the pursuit, made the play. Here he has outside contain, and he does a phenomenal job sticking with it. All right, let's end on a one-on-one pass rush. Here we have Diaby right there. He is the defensive left end, our right, and there is right tackle number 65 for the Philadelphia Eagles, Lane Johnson. Again, the guy's probably going to be in Canton one day. He is really good. It is one-on-one matchup here, and look, this is tough for any edge defender, and of course a rookie as well. But what I love about this, and this is what we're going to highlight here, is while Diaby doesn't beat Lane Johnson, he still finds a way to create a disruptive force for the Bucs defense. Let's check out what happens. So right there, right, Johnson's in a good position. It's just going to end up being a bull rush. Again, Lane Johnson is really good. Not a whole lot of moves you can do, but look at this power. Drives him back in, and just, he doesn't drive him into Jalen Hurts' lap. Lane Johnson hunkers down again. Hall of Fame. Great job. But right here, you know how you know that not a lot of people can do this, have this level of talent? Look how quickly Jalen Hurts is like, I got to bail. He is not used to seeing Lane Johnson being driven to his lap like that or that close to it. Right here, Jalen Hurts is like, whoa, I'm in danger because Lane Johnson normally doesn't get that close to me. I got to bail. And right here, the Buccaneers' pursuit ends up being an incomplete pass. This is what Diaby can really do. His explosive ability in one-on-one pass rush situations. We saw an example of it earlier, but that was against Trevor Penning, who, to be honest, isn't the world's best pass protector. Lane Johnson may literally be the world's best pass protector. And right here, he does such a number on him. And again, he doesn't beat Lane Johnson. I would actually say Lane Johnson probably wins that rep, in my opinion. But because Jalen Hurts isn't used to anyone being that competitive with Johnson, he forces Hurts to bail, and it becomes a great play for the Bucs defense, incomplete pass. Again, I know the Bucs lost this game. The Eagles are really, really good. The Eagles did a lot of things to the Bucs defense, but Diaby's performance, especially in matchups like this, was really, really impressive.